Hey, yo, what's good, man? It's your host, Cleve. Welcome to the Third Coast Podcast with my man,
Joe. What it do, Gators?
What it do, man? It's your host, Cleve. Third Coast Podcast.
Joe, what it do, Gators? Joe, what it do, Gators? So what's up, Cleve? How you doing this afternoon?
Man, I'm doing pretty good, just relaxing. You know, I was enjoying the game that we was watching earlier. You know, I see you repping the LSU squad.
LSU, what it do?
Yeah, they
Gators?
was playing against Florida State, man. That was a heck of a game there. You know, it had some killer plays out there on both sides, but, you know, more so rooting for LSU, hoping that they pull it through for the home state at an away game. We clipped it off at that halftime, but overall, I'm well. How about you? About you, Gator?
I'm always good. Another beautiful weekend that I actually get to have 3 days off, and I don't know, just been enjoying time with the kiddos, and it's nice to actually get to catch the first game because a lot of games now come on different major streaming platforms and like Hulu, Peacock, YouTube, and whatever the case. And I ain't paying $100 for cable because it's too expensive to me.
Right. Yeah, it's better to pay for the streaming, if anything. Like, you know, anything between like 50 to like $100 a month. Like, honestly, if you're paying more than like $150 for internet a month, then you're probably getting ripped off.
Yeah, so it's on the antenna right now, and we've been watching it, and it's kind of cool, though, to go old school. And that TV, like I was telling you, I had that since El Paso. It's been...
Oh, yeah, that's like 2010, 2012.
Yeah, it's been like 13 years. I've had this one big flat screen TV, but we got an old school antenna hooked up to it, hanging out the window. Got the channel 3 going. It's on ABC, and a lot of mistakes out there, but I like watching football, but I always rep and support, the teams that I do like and follow. But I'm not as avid as I used to be. If they go out there and they have a poor performance, I don't let it impact me personally during the week.
Right.
It used to be like, oh, man, LSU lost. They could have did this better. They could have done that better. And it would kind of sour my mood on the week. Well, now when I watch it, I'm like, look at them fucking up again.
Right. Yeah, it's like, it went from a sour to, like a bittersweet.
Yeah.
You're just able to kind of continue and adjust with, a lot of with sports. It's like, me, it's like I'm not really into sports. Like, I love sports. I love the art, the hard work, the dedication, the sponsorship, and all of the accolades that comes with the great sportsmanship of basketball, football, baseball, soccer, etc.
Yeah.
And just a lot of the time, like, I see people get more than upset where, like how you say, you don't let it sour your mood for the week. Like, a lot of people I see, hate to say it, bet on the games. And because they get more in tune with the surroundings and they forget about, like, all the rules and things and, like, forget about who actually controls the game. Like, the people upstairs, the people on the field, like, they're all communicating collectively to make sure that people are getting what they're paying for. And the southern region and the eastern region does pretty fair, but the southern region the most because they're the most strict when it comes. It don't matter who you are. Like, if you got a penalty on the play, they're going to roll that thing back and like call you out on it versus like in the eastern and western conference where they get paid off, sadly. So,
which is, did you see that Deion Sanders, Colorado won their first game and they beat TCU? And what's cool about that is Colorado was a 1-win school last year and they beat the team that went to the national championship. So
oh, wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah, big shout out.
Yeah, big shout out to that.
Deion Sanders' son threw for 4 touchdowns, 500 yards, 38 for 47. Magnificent performance at quarterback. Yeah, I don't know. It's
Yeah, you'll always have some calculations that get read throughout the game, You know, it's not always about a perfect game, because you know people get like real competitive, and just like the the effort that goes into those people that are on the field, like
Yeah.
actually in the game, and they're performing these plays, they're performing actions, they're following into the like by the playbook and things like that. You know, it's just it's an excellent thing because it shows like a form of athleticism that can motivate other people. You know, I was also thinking, you know, it's just like not even in the sense where I'm dreaming to be an athlete, but the physical capabilities of what these athletes are capable of, it's exciting to watch.
Yeah.
You know, it gets you riled up like when you see a good player whenever they break the yardage to get a touchdown. You know, just because of a well thought out play. And it's not just all physical, it's more mental than anything.
Or run right up the middle and get smashed, like
Yeah, you trying to
Jalen Daniels just
yeah, you
did.
trying to like step over the thing for a damn
Like you
highlight.
Hercules and
yeah, like
shit.
you Hercules, or you walk on the ladder and you just get fucking pummeled in midair, boy.
Hercules, Hercules, Hercules.
Get knocked off that high horse. But yeah, like you were saying, like this episode that we were gonna be getting into some wildfires. Like, man, how about the wildfires like around our area?
Well, before we get into the information, I got some firsthand. Actually, big shout out to Charles, my dad. He went through a really close experience, and I went out and observed some of the damage. And you know, I was on call. He was like packing up his vehicle because the wildfire started surrounding his house, and it started because they clear cut a lot of that area out there, and it's been so dry. And I guess someone threw something out, or it just kind of sparked from the sun or whatever.
Yeah,
But it got about 40 yards from his house, and they brought out Wildlife and Fisheries brought out a big bulldozer, bulldozed some fire lanes around his house and stuff, and they had fire trucks in there, and he was packing stuff. He said, if I need one more vehicle, I'm going to give you a call. But luckily, that never came to that. But
right.
yeah, I seen some of the pictures. Some of them flames by his house was like 20, 30 foot in the sky.
Yeah,
So,
man, there's some dangerous shit going on in the world today. Is not just in our area, but like where it happened more so
in
closely connected. I saw that. Like I was at my mom's house and I looked down the road. And I was like, "What the fuck?" I was like, "Man!" Like when I stepped outside, like you know how well, not to give so much information, but it's like it looks like a place of work that you know I may have been a company or you know, it's just like real smoky outside. And when I walked out, I looked down the road, and all I could see was a big plume, but it had an orange glow. Couldn't see any fire, but obviously, you know, you see black smoke. I'm thinking, damn, man, I didn't want to ride down there because, like, it already had the people from the
yeah,
fire department. Like,
right.
that happened.
That was my dad's house.
Yeah,
right
it was
down
like
there.
right
Dude,
down the
crazy.
road. It's like, man, that's like 5 minutes up the road. You know,
Yeah.
it's like I didn't want to ride down there because I didn't want to get in the way of traffic. You know, I was like, man, this is obviously
Intense. It was
something going on where there's been a burn ban issued for like the last 3 to 4 months now.
You can't
because of
even
the
barbecue
intent.
right now.
No, you can't. That's why I didn't even do any. Like I haven't been doing anything outside. Like
I've been cooking inside. I've been tearing it up though. I made some pastilla. I made fried chicken wings, Jamaican jerk chicken wings, and then I got some Kinder's bourbon peach barbecue wing sauce.
yeah,
I deep fried the wings right, and I tossed it in that sauce. And have you ever had candy bacon before? It's like a
is
sweet
it dipped
bacon and
in
crispy.
like syrup or
Yeah.
something like it's caramelized
Yeah.
in it?
Okay,
I
so
may have.
this sauce, when it caramelized on top of the deep fried wings, dude, it's like eating like a treat, but it's a deep fried wing. It was spectacular.
Okay, so it's like a brunch item.
Yeah, definitely. Oh,
definitely
you can't
for-
eat a lot of them because I mean, especially me, I don't eat a lot of sweet shit no more.
Yeah, it's brunch item. Yeah, you would get like 2 to 4 per order, like 2 for kids, 4 for an adult.
It's it would be paired with like a really good sweet beer, like what do you call those strawberry beers that Beta makes? That would be really good.
Like it's a type of ale basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like your ales, your pale lagers. But that's what's up, though.
Yeah, shitload of cooking. But you want to dive into this first topic, Cleve, or
Oh,
you want
yeah,
me
I'm
to?
down. You want me to start it off?
Yeah, go ahead.
About the first weed boxing championship was held in Thailand. Last weekend, one of the weirdest fighting events ever took place in Samui International Thai Stadium of Koh Samui in Thailand. Marketed as the first ever official classic boxing tournament among smokers and professional fighters, the pugilists competing on the card had to smoke a bong or joint before boxing in three-minute rounds. According to MMA Mania, legend former heavyweight boxing world champion Mike Tyson was promoting the unusual fighting event. The green belt will be on the line. Marijuana was decriminalized in Thailand in June 2022.
The green belt. Could you imagine though, Cleve? Like before you got to fight somebody, because you know that. Like I get that anticipation. Big shout out to David Bosnick. Love you, bro. Thank you for
Oh yeah,
all you
big
done
shout
for the
outs to you,
show,
brother,
man.
man. Good shit.
Yeah,
Good shit.
can't wait to your
Everything
next
that you're
fight.
doing. Yeah, I'm definitely be on the lookout, and I'll be
Oh
getting a
yeah.
report from Mr. Gator himself.
Oh, I can't wait. Do I love me some fucking David Bosnick. That's my dude. But anyway,
But the green
in the
belt,
green belt, imagine you gotta get loaded. Like you gotta.
yeah, you gotta hit a bong or like some fucking you gotta basically get a
And they
little
go.
bit loaded before fight. Which I feel like not only will that relax the fighter because things tend to slow down. It's like you'll see more opportunities, and I feel like it'll elevate the boxing experience in a whole in general. Like
Yeah.
if more athletes were to partake in it, because it's already been proven. Like if I can add to it, like to my knowledge, it's already been proven that even as a smoker, if you work out 3 hours per day, smoking or not, like a person who doesn't work out and doesn't smoke will have a least likely chance of surviving versus a person who works out and who smokes, even though they smoke, because working out requires like 3 hours of your day, and it
Yeah.
adds to the sleeping benefits as well. It adds to like the tenure, and then if you add more hours to it, that's just the average hour. You have people who try to push the ability to do 2 times, if not 3 times, the efforts to exceed the 3 hour limit that it takes for a workout. Some people work out 6 hours.
Yeah.
Some people do 9. Like there's this one guy, I think his name's like David Goggins. Like he does like 16 hours of just working out, and then most of it is just like stretches. He sleeps like 2 hours a day, but when he wakes up, he stretches and he does like a
He
16-mile
sleeps
jog.
2 hours a day.
He sleeps 2 hours a day, and he does
Sounds
like
like
a
he was in the
16-mile
army.
jog. Yeah, he was in the military, but he also like went through like some traumatic experiences that pushed his abilities as a man to grow. And he's a motivational speaker. Yeah, he's a motivational speaker, even though
That's tough.
his rhetoric and decor of language is a bit rough. Like he says fuck a lot. It kind of reminds us of one of our beloved co-hosts. Shout out Kahobai.
Kahoba, no keys, Jacoby.
Yeah.
Big shout out to him and Miss Allison, mainly her, for doing all the work.
Correct.
And bringing the little one into the world. And yeah, it's great. It's always cool when I see, my bros
Yeah, a
doing
little bit
big
wet.
things, can't pull out and shit.
Yeah, to put it on the air. He a little bit late in the game, but he no longer wet behind the ears. So Kobe, if you hear this episode,
But when you see your buddy, with his own child and he's over there feeding it, you can see the look, and now I got to look at my son who's damn near my height. He's 14 years old, about to be 14 in October. But it's always so weird, but it's so great. It's new life, it's new opportunity, it's new possibility, and it's good to see that from such a sporadic identity and stuff to see fatherhood, and see that I know that he's going to be a good father, and I'm
Right.
proud. Just like Brando, I'm like super proud of Alex having, they're bringing life into the world, and super proud of all my buddies because they're all good dads and they try their best, and that's all you can ask for. And we come, it's cool, and I'm very proud to be a part of a friendship circle that's so strong and like dudes that want to be good fathers, and
Right.
that's rare for other people, but in our little slice of heaven friendship group, we got a lot of good
Yeah,
people.
it's a lot of good potential out there, and those that want to support, there's nothing but opportunity, because as long as the person has like a will and ability to like keep going, keep pushing through it, keep enduring, even if things seem unsure, it's like you chose this for this child, in the beginning of it all,
Yeah.
like before it even happened, accident or not. But I just feel that I do give shout outs because there's a happiness and a bond that goes with the fathers that connect with their sons, their daughters, as well as the mothers, not to disinclude them, because they are respectively the carrier. Again, shout out Allie doing all that hard work. You know, yeah, Jacoby, I know, like, real shit though. Like, I know he happy right now, so
Yeah.
it's like, yeah, he not with us on this episode, but he,
He
there's
doing his
always,
thing.
yeah, he doing his thing, and there's always in a time and appropriation for everything. Like,
Yep.
and it even goes to you guys out there watching with your kids, your families, brothers, sisters, cousins, mothers, aunties, uncles, and hood rats, whatever, with the scat packs in the back revving up.
Love your family is what Cleve's trying to say.
Love your fam. Love all, no matter the background, is what I'm getting at. We all need to be treated fairly. That's, good or bad. Good or bad. But I digress. You want to get off into it?
So, historically, Louisiana, which is known for being a wetter state, has an average of 771 fires per year that burn an average of 8,000 acres every year, according to the Washington Post, allegedly.
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 8,217 acres.
Oh. Damn, I can't just round it off, Cleve.
Yeah,
I
you
can't
can,
just.
man. Like,
Yeah, I gotta be precise. Okay.
No,
I'm so happy that the sound pad and like getting the audio on the YouTube is so cool because now the listeners can hear the sound pad. So where was I? This year it's seen 600 wildfires in the past in just 1 month, which was last month,
right.
with the acreage burn surpassing tens of thousands of acres. Louisiana's largest deemed arson. Louisiana's largest wildfire was deemed arson, and the $2,000. Well, they lowballing here. $2,000 reward offered for Tiger Island fire. The State Department of Agriculture and Forestry and the Beauregard Parish Sheriff's Office offered a cash reward of as much, not not exactly $2,000, but you can possibly get $2,000 for information who set the Tiger Island fire. Over 11 days, the fire has near the Texas border has burned 31,342 acres, almost 50 square miles, 3 times the size of Kenner. Despite 324 fire personnel responding, the fire is only about 50% contained. Named after the hunting club near where officials think the fire originated, the Tiger Island fire has triggered mandatory evacuations of Maryville and areas near the smaller communities of Junction. Residents north of Longville has been encouraged to flee. At least 20 houses, barns, and other buildings have been damaged, the sheriff's office has said. No injuries or deaths have been linked to the fire. A lingering drought and outbreak of wildfires have led to Louisiana to ban outdoor burning, including trash fires and open flame grilling. The State Department of Wildfire and Fisheries, I said wildfire. The Department of Wildlife and Fisheries said the ban prohibits all private burning and has no limitations. There are currently 150 active wildfires in the state of Louisiana as of today, 9/3/23.
My goodness.
So,
one of those fires I actually witnessed like 5 minutes from my one of the statistics.
almost took Charles out.
Man, like someone I knew. It's
They-
like out of all those fires, it's like, man, it's right here in our backyard. And it's,
Yep.
it makes me think a lot about home. It's like everything with trying to adjust, trying to make a difference, trying to, these wildfires is like, man, there's no amount of water because like the water levels in the river, I don't know if you guys have noticed, but like the
it's
water
low.
levels have been low. And just like even going some other places, it's like some lake beds have even dried up. So it's like next year,
It's supposed to be just as hot next year too.
I'm thinking it was supposed to drop down next year.
I think this year was the peak. Next year it's going to be a little hot and then it drops because
Yeah,
we
it's
have
gonna
fall
get
out
really
of El
cold.
Nino,
Yeah,
right?
Right.
And then the sun it will fall out of its inactive stage too.
Yeah, so everything will cool down dramatically. So we'll have longer seasons like coming 2026 to 2030.
It's always crazy though when I sit back and think like I know it won't happen in my lifetime or even my kid's lifetime or even say 10,000 years down the road, but eventually the sun will go supernova. You know what I'm saying? Like the universe we live in eventually, even though it's thousands, the sun will go supernova and then go dwarf and then turn to a black hole and suck everything that's ever existed in the Milky Way into it, right?
Right. Being like realistically speaking, but allegedly. Realistically
But that's a long way
speaking,
down the road.
that's a long way down the road. But like hopefully, if I could speak some hope for the audience, to bring a bit of light to the topic, I would like to think that maybe we could terraform our neighboring planet into, a sufficient life form. But we're going to take a quick intermission.
Oh, no, it's fine. I was just going to grab the Joes.
Oh, well, either way. Well, yeah, just going back into it, I was just going to say, like, I think that, yeah, we could terraform our neighboring planet, Mars, or even terraform the moon in some efforts to, expand life. But at the same time, like when you think of like how these materials are created, like the likeliness of an asteroid or anything like colliding with the anomaly that you're trying to procure life in a substance, what emergency protocols would be in play? Like what things would be intact for the nature of like how these materials will either be made or moved to the site of the location that they're trying to do this experiment with. And then who's to say the amount of knowledge that they do have to be able to perform these actions could pay off in efforts with the work power that it takes and the amount of years that it takes to get there. You're youthful in the time that you go, but by the time you begin to work, 40 years on Earth time have already passed. So who's to say the vastness of space alters the time? But I digress from the topic. Yeah, that's just for another episode.
It's so funny though. We can get deep into anything real fast. Sometimes people like look at like something on one dimension, and when I
Right.
look at it, I want to try to look at it at every possible angle there is to look at it, even if it's like a pencil. So I look at this pencil and I look at it, I'm like, I wonder how they make that aluminum thing that sticks the pencil to the eraser. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And who came up with that? Who had a pencil and was like,
Man,
I'm tired of getting this big eraser. I need something on my pencil for a quick thing. Who did that? That's a cool little small thing that no one, I don't know.
Yeah,
That's just
it's a
how my
little
brain
fun.
works.
Yeah, it's like a little fun fact. It's like who decided the convenience of like to make this
Or
Just-
like ratchet straps. Who made ratchet straps?
Oh yeah, like the strap down
The-
lows to
yeah,
the back of
who created that? Who was the person that was like, I got this way to secure thousands of pounds of material
I feel
with
like
this
that's
system?
been around for like that's been around for aeons.
Yeah, but
Yeah, that's
you
been
know,
around
it's
since the
it's
dawn
just
of
a weird
time.
thing.
Right. But getting into, more modern, more traditional, what is Labor Day? Simply put, simply put, Labor Day celebrates Americans who labor. It's a day to appreciate the economic and society impact of hardworking Americans and to reflect on the progress our country has made as a result of the American workforce. Labor Day is celebrated on the first Monday of September every year. In 2023, Labor Day falls on Monday, September 4th, which has been a national holiday since June 28th, 1894. What is the history of Labor Day, you may wonder? The decades following the American Civil War were a time of great change in the United States. In the second half of the 19th century, working conditions in railroads, mines, factories, and mills were some of the worst in American history. Poor ventilation, long hours, low pay, dangerous conditions, and child labor were just a few of the concerns of the working class. Just a few.
Just a few.
Yeah, just scratching the tip.
You
know.
take your ass to work, and then when your kids turn 6, they take their ass to work.
Yeah, they going to work with you. Y'all
Yeah.
both got y'all lunch box. Like, son, you got your lunch box ready? It's like, yeah, Dad. It's like, all right, we going on top of this skyscraper. We about to build America today. Man, it take a lot of blood and sweat to do that, and you can't forget the tears that's connected. But
Oh, that's crazy. They used to build skyscrapers without harnesses.
Without harnesses.
People would just fall and die all the fucking time.
and nobody would ever think anything of it. They'd be like, oh well, it happens. He slipped. Maybe he dropped his lunch.
It's his fault. Oh, that brings me to all the listeners out there. I want y'all to take time to dig into your corporations that you work for, even if you work for said government corporations.
To yourself, respectively.
There
if I may
is
interject.
there is a thing called a peasant tax, where an company can take an insurance policy out on their workers, and so if you die while you're employed by said company, they get your salary for 3 years paid to them in full because you died.
Oh, Fortune 500 companies. Oh,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
man.
Just a little tidbit of information for everybody out there.
Anybody that's out there, working bank, economics, financial, realtor, dentistry, mill, lumber, gasoline, what else? Oil, sulfur, any minerals, ores, resources that are natural. Yeah, just for you guys out there that's listening, you guys know what's up. But if I may get into, a little bit more about Labor
I'm
Day.
sorry.
No, no, it's okay. No, the listeners need to know. You guys.
What are you doing?
Yeah, it's like, man, I gotta give more eye contact to the camera because.
You mind if I interject one more time?
Go for it.
Make sure y'all check out Third Coast Podcast on 5000ws.thirdcoastpodcast.com on all major streaming platforms, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and check out our YouTube channel, which is Third Coast Podcast at Third Coast Podcast Productions, and like our videos. We got a whole bunch of content coming. Make sure that y'all buy tickets to Vet the Void 2023. Come out, grab some free merch, buy some Third Coast Podcast shirts, because every little contribution that y'all give us back, we buy equipment. We got mic booms coming. We got we got a real cool setup that it's going to be at FET this year. We're going to be right in the middle. We got exclusive merch. Come get you some glow stick wristbands. Get you some glow in the dark Third Coast Podcast wristbands. Get you some custom made koozies. Buy you a custom made shirt. We make everything by hand. We got some custom made keychains. We're going to have some custom made cups, and it's all free. All thing you got to do
man,
is buy a ticket, support this local event, support Oakdale, and support everybody that's
honestly,
making this thing happen, because it's a real cool event, and it's stretched between 3
just
days.
buy a ticket and indulge in everything that it has to offer. Just prepare yourself for an experience. If you're looking to expect something, just know that there's always unexpected things in terms of events and life itself. So who knows what opportunities may lie ahead of you at these events, or even in the course of your everyday doings.
What's cool too about FET is we know that everybody has work and stuff. So Thursday and Friday and Saturday is all part of the package deal. But say you can only get off Saturday, well, they have a Saturday pass. You can buy a ticket to go out to FET for Saturday, and you don't have to buy the whole shebang. But you have Saturday off. Make sure you come check us out. I mean, just buy a Saturday pass.
I didn't know that. So that's a new addition for the Saturday pass. Okay.
And there's hundreds of people that make this thing work, and it's something that is special to Oakdale, because there's not music festivals that come around here, and there's not real festivals really that happen in Oakdale. So I encourage everybody to at least try and just support. That's the biggest thing. We got a population of 8,000 people. If 500 people buy tickets, this could be a big event. It could start jobs. It could bring revenue to local businesses, because it brings people out of the state, musicians out of state.
It brings new minds and new ideas to a culture that needs the help to build a society.
We're a hub of music here in Oakdale that no one taps into. There are so many talented musicians all over the place. And I'm excited to be in the alumni band coming up, and we got practice in 2 weeks. And I made a video of me playing Warrior Fever in the parking lot, and it's crazy that after all these years, I can pick up that instrument, and I'm making barrel sounds. I'm loud, and it feels so good, because when I picked up the bass, it's a struggle like it used to be.
Yeah.
But when I pick up that trombone...
Oh, man, that's a natural knack, man.
No,
that's
my
connected
thing.
to the bass, too, as well, because it's a wind instrument.
And I already got invited to go jam out, too. You know what I'm saying? So, that's in the works, too. So I'm real excited about just... And I already learned 3 scales again. And I'm relearning sheet music. And it's I don't know, it's real fun. Just all the cool stuff that's going on. It's a lot of work, but I enjoy the
future,
podcast.
I'm gonna do something on the acoustic, and I'm gonna plug up my gear probably this coming winter. Cause I always play during the winter. It's for some reason it's when it's the coldest. Usually people are inside, they're trying to stay warm. Not a lot of people are outside. But just with this heat wave, I'm pretty sure there's going to be people outside in the winter to enjoy some of the cool breeze that's being offered.
Winter's going to feel a lot different this year for a lot of people, especially me. I can't wait till I walk outside and the temperature is less than 80 degrees consistently from night and day, because there was a couple of days back, wasn't the night temperature almost 90 degrees or some shit? It was hot.
It was hot as fuck. Yeah, it was 90.
It was ridiculous.
But yeah, that's El Nino for you. Inclement weather on the rise. But, thankfully, that was something else I had wanted the topic. But getting into a labor movement began as a result of poor working conditions at the time. It was a heyday of the Industrial Revolution, and it was uncommon for employees to work over 80 hours a week on a regular basis. The 5-day, 40-hour-a-week that the most Americans experience today didn't become commonplace until the 1940s.
God damn.
Labor conditions started to become more popular as American workers demanded better conditions, higher pay, and fewer hours. Strikes and protests such as the 1886 Haymaker Riot in Chicago, which resulted in the death of 7 policemen and 4 civilians, made it evident that something had to be done. To take a pause right there for a second. any company that is formed a union, your number one policy should not, I repeat, should not ever to be to sacrifice your right to protest a strike, because that's what gives a union power over a company
Yep.
that is congressionally formed to subdue your conditions and regulate your income and other benefits that are rightfully yours. So before you decide to form a chair of committee for your company, please ensure that as a union, please ensure that you keep your rights to strike.
Yeah, because that's your only sword against big company, and when you give that away, you don't have nothing to fight with. And
You have
it's
nothing.
evident in, you know, certain unions that are across the nation where it's a false flag. It really is. It's like, oh, we have a union, but no, you don't have a union. You have a corporate run union. False flag, mother.
Yeah, you have people that support. You have people support within a company that serves the same justice that they would give to another person, to said person's ensuring that either you may or may not have a surviving chance at this company, the same way that they're on the board for recognition of judgment of their said work performance or their man, what's the word? It's like it's connected about tardiness, being absent, just your presence at work, for the lack of a better word.
Your attendance?
Your attendance. Thank you. Yeah, so your attendance at work, it goes into the sense of like how well you perform at work. You know, not only you need to be on time, but you need to do your damn job. And then whenever you're called in to say that you're not doing your job, you need reputable defense to stand for your job and everything that's entitled. Everything that I've been through at my job, because I work for a union-based job. And at my job, it's only one person that I can trust to go to that can hold the rights where I can have a visual change on what I would like to expect.
Yeah.
Because I don't want anybody to lose their job. I just want to be treated fairly. And in the sense where most jobs are unjust to treat their employees like fair to the degree that they deserve, because maybe they just have it out for them, maybe because of an insecurity or a popularity status where they're conducting their job unprofessionally to personalize their vengeance towards said coworker. Like a lot of that goes on. Like there's always like internal gossip at the workplace. There's always like some internal relationships going on with upper management, and all of these things are separated.
All this fucking, it's like when you get in these jobs where it's like I call it like the high school drama still linger effects.
Yeah.
It's always crazy though. And you know what's another sad part too is working jobs where you're fucking, they're waiting for you just to fire you, you know, waiting for you to not come to work, waiting for like you to fuck up. So
I be feeling like that.
I don't know. When I worked in the nursery, that was pretty tough. Like doing that type of labor, that was rough. But doing the labor I do now is rough at its extent for the extensive hours I have to work. But I try to take it day by day and make it, you know, it could be a lot worse. It could be. And that's in the workplace. I always find it like you just need to learn how to maneuver around. I try to be quiet and just like, okay, it's just Joe. He's working. He's doing something. So I don't really talk to many people or anything. So I stay out of it.
Yeah, you gotta be
incognito.
Formless like water.
Yeah.
Like the famous Bruce Lee, you know? Yeah, you definitely gotta know how to move in your surroundings. You can't give too much information. It's like I share these things like outside of the Third Coast podcast and like on other platforms as well. It's like the way you move, not everybody needs to know like what it is that you're doing. Like granted, like, you know, you have family and things connected, like they'll always know what you're doing. But
Oh yeah.
for the most part, it's like what you're sharing about business and like how you're planning on growing yourself and like sharing that with a stranger. Like I'm not like trying to diminish the value of friendship, but you know, always just entrust the information that you give to be forthright whenever you tell a person, because all in regards, what you tell a person is what they can give to another person, even if they manipulate
Oh
it.
yeah.
Yeah, it's like you could be a good person, but like they could turn around and say it's like, oh, well he does shit. He sells this, and you know, it's like he's not really a legitimate person, but in reality, that calls into question. It's like, well, either this person isn't really a legitimate person, or they could be like, well, why they talking so bad about this person? Maybe it's better I'll talk to this person. And then they find out it's like, oh man, you know, it's like, man, I've been working this job. I've been here this many years. I've been supporting my family. I got a house. I'm doing this. I'm looking for this on the next step. And you really have it together. And it's like, it defies like any stories or rumors. That's why I really don't trust anything. Like I take everything a person says with a grain of salt.
Yeah.
And that helps along the way. So it's just more positive connotations. But you want me to keep reading, or you want to read about the Pullman strike?
The Pullman strike of 1894, so named for the Pullman Place Car Company, which was the first effort to receive the full attention of Congress and the President. The American Railway Union supported the protest by refusing to transport Pullman rail cars. This had a huge impact on the railway traffic, especially in and around Chicago, and caused shipping delays and loss of revenues. In an effort to ease tensions, President Grover Cleveland signed a law President Grover Cleveland signed a law passed by Congress establishing Labor Day, a national holiday on June 28, 1894. By this time, many states already recognized the holiday. In fact, the first unofficial Labor Day parade took place in New York City on September 5th, 1882. On this day, an estimated 10,000 New Yorkers did not show up. New Yorkers.
Hey, them boys.
The Yorks.
Hey, like
The Yorks.
nah, I'm gonna finish before I interject.
The New Yorkers did not show up to work and instead marched on New York City Hall to Union Square in protest of poor work conditions.
Correct.
Canada also observes Labor Day on the first Monday of September, while Japan celebrates Labor Thanksgiving on November 23rd. More than 60 countries around the world celebrate a similar holiday. International Workers' Day on May 1st, or May Day, according to the U.S. Department of Labor. The day harkens back to a general strike in Chicago that began May 1st, 1886. The Haymarket Riot followed 3 days later.
Hey, they be doing some shit in Chicago, boy.
They'll
Hey, they be
like,
turned
fuck
up.
this.
Hey, they like, fuck this shit, man. We going on strike. Like, them and the New Yorkers. Like, what I was gonna interject. Like, New York is grimy as shit, though. But like, New York has like over 700. They have over 700 people, like 700 diversities of countries that live
Yeah.
within the 5 boroughs of New York. Like, so there's like over 1,200 languages that are being spoken. Like, you know, some descended from different dialects, but there's like different dialects of like, you know, your Europeans, like your Spanish, because like Spanish is connected to Portuguese, and Portuguese is like connected to like the Peruvian and the Colombian language dialects, and all the different derivatives of Spanish, all the different derivatives of like the Greek and the Hebrew, and even some of the African languages and some of the Asian languages. It's like all embellished in New York. And then you take a place like Chicago, for instance, which, you know, mostly people like know it for like the mafia shit, like with what's it, Pablo Escobar. I think his name is.
I thought he was the Hispanic.
Well, yeah, he was Hispanic, but I mean, there was other mobsters like Babyface and fucking
Was that where the Sopranos are from? Is the Sopranos a real thing, or is that just a TV show?
I think that's a TV show.
My bad.
My bad, yo. Nah, I think that's a TV show. But like mostly Chicago, Chicago is known for its industrialization and like the impact because of like its trades between like Canada, the use of the Great Lakes, and then its neighboring, Chicago is a city, but Illinois is a state. But like just states around the Great Lakes have like commercial revenue for train and boat revenue.
Yeah.
And it's like, I want to say multi-trillion-dollar industry up there. And that's why a lot of the conditions now, it's like you see a lot of different, I don't like getting into politics. So to keep it simple, the U.S. is mad because there isn't enough resources to go around. So they're trying to do some things to, suffice for dollars. I'm going to just put it that way. But I digress. Yeah, it just, Labor Day is, it definitely goes into work significance and what pursues for people and workers' compensation, workers' rights. The better conditions is probably the same as how women feel nowadays, because there was some proud women out there who fought for the right for women to work, and then there's some women today paying for it. It's like, why did y'all fight for the right for us to work? But not to be insensitive to the audience, like I love all our viewers, but there's sometimes where the male feels lazy too. It's like, damn it, why I gotta go up and get up and work? It's like, man, you gotta get your lazy ass up. That's why. But motivation is for both pairs, man or a woman. Motivation and labor comes in separate causes. Whereas a man works to provide and a woman works for care and love for the family. So however that's to be procured, if you have a team effort to go for it, then I feel like the value of it should be understood.
You want to get into the words of wisdom and the artist of the week?
Oh, yeah. I guess I'll start off with words of wisdom. I guess like the words of wisdom is to, I probably said this before, be patient, endure time and its test. A lot of time, our timing isn't connected the way that we would like for it to happen. Whereas, we want something to happen so soon, and then it happens later on. It's like, I was hoping and I was waiting for this thing to happen, but it didn't happen right away, but it happened right when you needed it to. So I guess what I'm trying to say is be patient to wait the right timing, because all opportunities, if you can dream it, if you could think about it, if you could feel it for yourself that you want to stop smoking, you want to lose weight, you want to gain weight, you want to better yourself, anything that's in a cause for good, I believe that it can be achieved if you apply the correct energy towards getting it accomplished and not being, being selfish about it. Like, be selfless. That's my words of wisdom. How about you, Gator?
I guess my words of wisdom will be, if you support somebody, or you support an organization, or you support an idea, always support it through the wins and the losses, because I feel like I've learned the most in my life through the losses. Like the achievements don't mean shit to me. The learning from the losses is where I learn the most. So always, I know it's tough to lose or it's tough to fail in certain situations, but take that fail or that loss to gain something that you would have never got from a win.
Right. Hey, it pays the cost to be the boss.
Yep.
Most definitely.
Our artist of the week is Holt Spencer. He is a hardworking construction dude from Cleveland, Tennessee. He prides himself as a country singer / songwriter. Splash in that he plays the harmonica, which is a dope-ass instrument, which I can't play at all. But Spencer brings his unique southern style into his music, and make sure that y'all check out his song, Pick You Up. But for Third Coast Podcast, I'm Joe. What it do, Gators?
And it's your host, Cleve. What it do, gang? We out.
1, 2, 3, 4. I miss seeing Miss Confident. I'd start my sentence, you'd finish it. But now it seems you're down real low, and I played a big part, that's for sure. So forget about your makeup, I'll get the door and pick you up, that's what a pickup's for. And I'll get the game, we'll drive your troubles away. And I know why you won't let me drive your car. Gasoline's gotten high, you're left with a quarter bar. The wipers dry right and your needs changed. You're figuring out if I can change your name. So forget about your makeup, I'll get the door and pick you up, that's what a pickup's for. And I'll get the gate, we'll drive your troubles away. Driving through the interstate and seen our spot, where we park the truck when things get hot. I was calling to tell you it's up for sale. It's a 50-acre lot, it's even got a well. So forget about your makeup, I'll get the door and pick you up, that's what a real man's for. And I'll get the gate, we'll drive your troubles away. We'll drive your troubles